Go. Other interesting political news, a little bit dated, but you have Vivek, Christian Day visibility tweet going viral, as youth might say. Now, obviously, this happened a couple days earlier this week on Easter, and you have Vivek on X Twitter saying, quote, "Happy Christian Day of Visibility, also known as Easter," unquote. And as youth might say, it went viral to say the least. Within 48 hours, it got 1.1 million likes and 64,000 likes. Now, I say that because I can barely speak and I have many speaking ineptitudes. I meant to say it got 1.1 million views and subsequently 64,000 likes, which brings me to the reminder. If you can do me a favor and click that subscribe button, I have a theory. The more subscribers I've gained, the better I've been able to speak. I'm not just, speaking slower so you can understand me, but also articulating myself, increasing the volume a little bit to make it a little more, not so much monotone. Now, granted, some might argue, when I first started the show, it's not really any subscribers. But the more subscribers I gain, the better I've gotten at speaking. That being said, some might argue it's just a modicum of improvement, barely anything at all. But I would argue this has been a little bit of improvement, and the more subscribers I've gained, the better I have gotten, slowly but surely. So if you can click that button, I would greatly appreciate it, because it could very well lead to me having perfect speaking aptitudes. Perhaps. Not a statement not valid by the FDA or any doctors at all. But nevertheless. And again, that was one of the most well-received tweets by Vivek, because again, he had a couple swing and misses past couple of weeks. He was in Rome and he actually took a picture of the Colosseum talking about the comparison between building Rome versus building anything in New York City, with New York's bureaucracy being so prohibitively of a pain in the ass. And he was ratioed pretty bad. His first time in almost a year covering him, has been more than half of the comments were actually negative against him. Now, that being said, maybe all these comments are bad. I mean, probably not, statistically speaking. But again, given it was very controversial this calendar year that Trans Day of Visibility was also taking place on Easter Sunday, which, again, a lot of people would say they're completely 180 degrees, completely opposites ideologically wise, with, Christians, conservative, a lot of people saying you're good. God created you in his image. You don't need to change anything in that regard. And not all, but some people in the trans community believe that you do need to partake in surgeries and pharmaceutical drugs in order to attempt to change that. So a little bit of contrarian statements and philosophies, and that's why I think this went so viral. Because again, Biden did post on both. Biden did a post for Easter as well as the Trans Day of Visibility. So he did both. The visibility trans one went much more viral, got 3 times as many views, and I think because of that, that's why I saw so many of these other corresponding tweets gain so much popularity. Now, one of the first comments to Vivek comes from our favorite leftist, Luke Zaleski. Well, don't really like him, but I do appreciate different forms or different types of thoughts and ideology, because life gets kind of boring when you're in an echo chamber, so the more opinions, the better. It makes it a little more interesting. Now, that being said, Luke Zaleski, obviously, I don't want to say he's mentally vacuous, but he doesn't even suit up as all men should always. And credit to Vivek, in his profile picture, he does suit up as all men should. Luke is wearing a V-neck. Ridiculous. In public? That's the image you're putting out there? But I partially digress. Now, Luke says, quote, "You have been blessed and gotten everything in life, and yet here you are repeating, disgracing yourself and your country for what? Trump? More money? More power? All three? Why?" And Luke actually has a screenshot of the reader's added context saying how the Trans Day of Visibility has fallen on March 31st since the inception in 2009, whereas Easter Sunday has not fallen on March 31st since 2013. It was not again will not again have fallen until 2086. So it's kind of morbid to kind of think that far in the future that this won't matter at all for us, because we'll most certainly be dead. Unless some type of magical pharmaceutical technology comes out. Or it's like Futurama, we have our head in the jar, but ADHD aside. That was a statement by Luke. Not as mentally vacuous as most of the comments, which, granted, the bar for him is quite low. He's like asking Vivek, "Why are you doing this, for money?" Which, no, Vivek has made more money than anyone would ever need in a lifetime. I certainly think that's not it. For Trump, probably not. For power, I mean, again, he already has most of what he would ever want in life. But Luke did get 27 likes, so some people did like that. You also have Real Ben Garrison cartoon saying, quote, "Biden laid an egg, and a rotten one at that. Happy Easter." It's a picture of Biden dressed up as Bunny, sitting on an egg, and he says, "We're coming after your kids," while holding a trans pride flag, and the egg is cracking open with the devil. That got 323 likes, and the kids, of course, are looking horrified. Joy Mardiano says, quote, today will be about Christ, not transgenders, and quote, getting 622 likes. Valentina Gomez says, quote, Jesus is king, Christianity will prevail, and we will make America great again, and quote, getting 268 likes. Zach Henry simply says, make Christianity great again, getting 152 likes. Kenzie Marie says, quote, he has risen, in his picture of Jesus holding a child standing around a group of people. And the text says, quote, so then I was like, Mom, chill out, I'll be back in 3 days tops, unquote. Getting 105 likes, and I guess a little bit of a biblical pun, because Jesus did arise after 3 days. You also have David Benner, nemesis of neocons, saying, quote, Christ is real, he died for our sins, and rose from the dead on the third day. The only pathway to salvation is through him, unquote, getting 80 likes. Scrolling down more and more, you have Kevin Kielman saying, quote, Democrats are doing everything they can to deliberately divide society, unquote, getting 57 likes. Blair Boyd says ditto and happy Easter, unquote, getting 18 likes. David says he has risen, getting 36 likes. Sazusa, unique name, he says, quote, cheers to that. You've done more for national leadership in one race than the current administration has regurgitated in decades, unquote, getting 14 likes. Scrolling down more and more. Rick Parks says, quote, happy Easter from one Cincinnati boy to another, unquote, getting 18 likes. Let's see here. Raylan says, quote, truly a day for Christian visibility. And his picture of Jesus in the text says, quote, I'm back, you can't keep a good man down, unquote. Getting 32 likes. We also have Ali Shazbaz saying, quote, instead of worrying about how this guy spends money, picture of Elon, you should worry about how these people are spending money. This picture of Biden signing something with all the Democrats standing around him. That got 40 likes. Let's see. And I scroll more and more. Let's see. I'm not seeing any contrarian statements with the exception of Luke Zaleski. So, again, this is probably the most popular thing Vivek has said, well, certainly the calendar year, but I think since past year where he's been getting more involved in culture and politics. So it'll be interesting to see, what his future is for politics, what type of role is he going to play, and does this message really resonate with most Americans? And I think it will. I think it's also a lot of people are starting to get fed up with the religious persecution in the United States and the discrimination. I think maybe it'll be a comeback. Although, of course, let me know in the comments. I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.